Keter Class SCPs are anomalies that are exceedingly difficult to contain consistently or reliably, with containment procedures often being extensive and complex. So saying that, what are some of the worst and which will send shivers down your spine? Well, today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scariest SCP Keter Class Monsters. Before we begin though, I just want to give a big shout out to our video sponsor NordPass. NordPass is a new generation password manager brought to you by the cybersecurity experts responsible for NordVPN, the advanced online security and privacy app used by more than 12 million people worldwide. With NordPass, you can auto-save and autofill passwords with just a few clicks, not to mention NordPass generates secure and complex character combinations instantly. It also remembers your credit card details and recognizes suspicious websites so that you don't reveal your sensitive information. It is risk-free and has a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get 50% off NordPass with our special code SCARYVIDEOS for only $2.49 a month. Plus, you get an additional month for free. Thank you once again to NordPass for sponsoring this video, and with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, SCP-4999. SCP-4999 is a humanoid entity of unknown origins and composition. Its physical appearance varies, with dark formal wear being the only constant between manifestations. Due to the rarity of recorded SCP-4999 manifestation events and the highly specific circumstances in which they occur, little data concerning its nature or intent is available. However, its behavior is consistent across all recorded sightings. 4999 will manifest only in the presence of one solitary human person at a time. All subjects recorded to date have been in terminally poor health, critically injured, or on their deathbeds, with 4999 appearing nearby and within sight of the individual not more than 20 minutes before their expiration. Upon manifestation, the entity will seat itself directly adjacent to the subject's bed, if such furniture is available. If not, it will remain standing or sit on the floor/ground in whatever configuration will allow it direct physical access to the subject without causing disturbance. Once ready, it will remove a pack of cigarettes from its left inside jacket pocket and offer one to the subject. If the subject accepts, 4999 will place it between their lips, remove one for itself and light both. If the subject declines, it will light and smoke the cigarette instead. 4999 will then remain with the subject silent and unmoving until they have passed away. Due to this SCP's unwillingness or inability to appear before more than one person at a time, in addition to the subsequent and immediate death of any who witness it firsthand, 4999 is effectively self-containing. Coming in at number 4, SCP-231. SCP-231 1-7 were retrieved from an unknown location following a police raid on a warehouse owned by an organization called the Children of the Scarlet King. 24 hours after the rescue, SCP-231-1 went into labor pains, giving birth 3 minutes later to another SCP, causing an event that resulted in a handful of casualties. Foundation personnel immediately took possession of remaining SCP-231 2-7 and, based on notebooks recovered from the cult, instituted Procedure 110 Mantauk to prevent further occurrences. Following repeated escape and suicide attempts, and based on the failure of containment for SCP-2311-6, containment of SCP-2317 has been amended to the following. SCP-231 is to be contained within a soundproof holding cell, adjacent to holding cells for 6 Class D personnel assigned for the purpose of Procedure 110 Mantauk. Cameras will monitor every inch of the cell at all times and must be manned 24 hours a day. SCP-2317 is to be kept restrained to a hospital bed at all times, except for the purposes of Procedure 110 Mantauk. Hydration will be provided through IV drip. Feeding will be carried out twice per day through feeding tubes by approved medical personnel who have not taken the Hippocratic Oath. Under no circumstances are narcotics, anesthesia, or other unapproved medications to be administered to SCP-2317. All personnel assigned to 2317 must rotate out for 1 month of psychological counseling after 2 months on site. 2317 is to be kept at an undisclosed location. All personnel assigned to 231 will be transported there blindfolded from Site 19 by a route including no fewer than 7 different forms of transportation. Coming in at 3, SCP-055. 055 is a self-keeping secret or anti-meme. Information about 055's physical appearance as well as its nature, behavior, and origins is self-classifying. To clarify, how Site 19 originally acquired 055 is unknown. When SCP-055 was obtained and by whom is unknown. 055 055's physical appearance is unknown. It is not indescribable or invisible. Individuals are perfectly capable of entering 055's container and observing it, taking mental or written notes, making sketches, taking photographs, and even making audio/video recordings. An extensive log of such observations is on file. However, information about 055's physical appearance leaks out of a human mind soon after such an observation. Individuals tasked with describing it afterwards find their minds wandering and lose interest in the task. Individuals tasked with sketching a copy of a photograph of 055 are unable to remember what the photograph looked like, as are researchers overseeing these tests. Security personnel who have observed 055 via closed-circuit television cameras emerge after a full shift, exhausted and effectively amnesiac about the events of the previous hours. Who authorized the construction of 055's containment room, why it was constructed in this way, or what the purpose of the described containment procedures may be are all unknown. Despite SCP-055's container being easily accessible, all personnel at Site-19 claim no knowledge of 055's existence when challenged. SCP-055 is kept within a 5x5 by 2.5 meter square room constructed of cement 50 centimeters thick, with a Faraday cage surrounding the cement walls. Security guards are not to be posted outside 055's room, and it is further advised that all personnel maintaining or studying other SCP objects in the vicinity try to maintain a distance of at least 50 meters from the geometric center of the room. Coming in at 2, SCP-106. SCP-106 appears to be an elderly humanoid with a general appearance of advanced decomposition. This appearance may vary, however the rotting quality is observed in all of its forms. 106 is not agile and will remain motionless for days at a time waiting for prey. 106 is also capable of scaling any vertical surface and can remain suspended upside down indefinitely. When attacking, 106 will attempt to incapacitate prey by damaging major organs, muscle groups, or tendons, then pull disabled prey into its pocket dimension. SCP-106 also appears to prefer human prey in the 10 to 25 years of age bracket. SCP-106 causes corrosion effect in all solid matter it touches, engaging a physical breakdown in materials several seconds after contact. This is observed as rusting, rotting, and cracking of materials, and then a creation of a black mucus-like substance similar to the material coating of SCP-106. This effect is detrimental to living tissue and is assumed to be a pre-digestion technique. Corrosion continues for 6 hours after contact, after which the effect appears to burn out. Now, 106 is capable of passing through solid matter, leaving behind a large patch of its corrosive mucus. It is also able to vanish inside solid matter, entering what is assumed to be a form of pocket dimension. It is then able to exit this dimension from any point connected to the initial entry point. No physical interaction with 106 is allowed at any time. All physical interaction must be approved by no less than 2/3 vote from the O5 command. Any such interaction must be undertaken in AR2 maximum security sites after a general non-essential staff evacuation. 106 is to be contained in a sealed container comprised of lead-lined steel. The container will be sealed within 40 layers of identical material, each layer separated by no less than 36 centimeters of empty space. And finally, coming in at number 1, SCP-682. 682 is a large reptile-like creature of unknown origin. It appears to be extremely intelligent and was observed to engage in complex communication with SCP-079 during their limited time of exposure. 682 appears to have a hatred of all life, which has been expressed in several interviews during containment. 682 has always been observed to have extremely high strength, speed, and reflexes, though exact levels vary with its form. 682's physical body grows and changes quickly, growing or decreasing in size as it consumes or sheds material. It also gains energy from anything it ingests, organic or inorganic. Digestion also seems to be aided by a set of filtering gills inside of 682's nostrils, which are able to remove usable matter from any liquid solution, enabling it to constantly regenerate from the acid it is contained in. SCP-682's regenerative capabilities and resilience are staggering, and 682 has been seen moving and speaking with its body 87% destroyed. It must be destroyed as soon as possible. At this current time, no means are available to SCP teams for destruction. Instead, they are only able to cause massive physical damage. 682 should be contained within a 5x5 by 5 cm chamber with 25 cm reinforced acid-resistant steel plate lining all inside surfaces. The containment chamber should also be filled with hydrochloric acid until 682 is submerged and incapacitated. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any SCP monsters that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notification so you never miss another scary vid. Until next time, see you later.